What is up, Finn fans? Day 12 training camp. Today, training camp was actually kind of canceled. It was a light day. So today there was training camp, but it was a light day, which means I got no play-by-play for you. But I do have Brian Flores' press conference, which I have on this giant sheet of paper because I was at work when I was taking notes because Miami Dolphins are my life. So I have a bunch of things that Brian Flores said. Some things are out of order, so if I mess up, it's because I have these huge arrows to tell me this goes with this and this goes with that. But I have Brian Flores' press conference, right? I want to talk about a few things intertwined with what Brian Flores has to say. Going live Sunday, we'll talk about that. I got some packages in mail from you guys. So I got a letter and a package. One is from Victor and the other one is from Sean. I'm going to open those instead of comment of the day, and then that'll be the video. So let's jump right into Brian Flores' press conference. And he first talks about Sunday's game, and he talks about Thursday's game. I'm still in football mindset where it's on Sundays. And he talks about the tackling. And he said, league is back nope, that's not that one. See, we won't have a shot. We won't give ourselves a chance if we don't do better job tackling, especially in special teams, because there was some missed tackles in special teams. He said, tackling is probably worse than I thought. So I think what we're going to see, especially with Tuesday, Wednesday, when we're with the Bucks, you see a little bit more fundamentals on tackling and wrapping up and stuff like that. But he also talked about, and I don't know if I wrote it down, but I do remember him talking about it, that the whole Bucks practice, it's going to be normal practice. It's going to be normally what we've done in training camp, just more people, just more bodies. So there's that. Quarterback competition with Rosen. He says there's still a quarterback competition with Rosen. He has some good things and he has some not so good things. It's a big week for quarterback competition. Wouldn't say who's running with the ones. And he says that the media, and actually he says our fans, he kind of says you guys and us as fans overstate the importance of who plays with who. And I noticed that because a lot of you guys were saying in my live stream Thursday and even on my preview of the post-game video that when Rosen plays with the ones, I want to see what he can do with the first team offensive line, and I want to see what he can do with who Fitzpatrick ran with. Guys got to realize this. The first team offensive line, first team, because the only first team or offensive lineman that wasn't out there is Tunsil. Not injury-based. It was just there's no need for him to play the first preseason game. That first string or first team or whatever you want to call it, offensive line, played the first half. So Fitz ran with it for 2 series, and then Rosen ran with it for the whole second half, or first half. So Rosen did run with the first team offensive line, and then at some points they started putting people in. But the whole Jordan Mills being his blind side probably killed him. I think if Laramie Tunsil was out there for him and for Fitzpatrick, would have been a little bit better. But they both played with the same exact offensive line. So just want to reiterate that because he says that we overstate the importance of who plays with who. That's how the season's going to go, especially on defense. It's going to be a whole jumbled mess. On the quarterback competition, all you could do is control what you can control. Whether you're with the ones or the twos, I want to see how guys respond and work with their technique. Wherever they are at, best players will do that. So he doesn't care if you're running with the ones, the twos, the threes, if you have, whoever as your wide receiver, whoever as your running back, whoever is your offensive lineman. He wants to see technique. He wants to see how you're going to do with constant pressure in your face because this is the NFL. He's going, regardless if it's Fitz or if it's Rosen, they're going to be under constant pressure. So he wants to see how they can do with that constant pressure and how they'll react and interact with that constant pressure. So he talks about that. He has comfortable evaluation of Rosen, even if he's not with the ones. Rosen needs to take control of things that he can control. Again, Rosen's running with the twos. What can Rosen do? Keep killing it with Preston Williams. Keep showing that he can make these throws. Keep getting better. Because you guys and even I pointed it out. He threw a dumb interception. He didn't play. A few of you guys commented that he played extremely well or he played great or fantastic. Like some of you guys used like really high leveled words for Rosen's play in the preseason game. He was still holding on to the ball. And again, I noticed this too. I like Rosen. Let me reiterate this. I like Josh Rosen. I would love for Josh Rosen to be our future Hall of Fame quarterback. I would love for Josh Rosen to constantly be getting us into Super Bowls, playoff contention, all that stuff. But to not point out and not talk about flaws in your players just because they're your favorite is just, it's not what I do. You know, I'm here to look at everything. You know, when Jason Taylor played, when Zach Thomas played, when I liked Ryan Tannehill, I still do kind of like Ryan Tannehill, but he's not on the team anymore. When I like players that are on the team, if I notice, I love Kenyon Drake. You guys know I love Kenyon Drake. I also like Blige. When Kenyon Drake last season was dancing too much in the backfield, I was like, he's killing me here. Just hit the hole and run. Give the ball to Frank Gore. But you still hear me now talking about it. So the fact that I talk about Josh Rosen, and the fact that in like my last video, I said he holds on to the ball too long. He does hold on to the ball too long. He stares down his receivers a little too much. He does, and that's how that interception happened. That play before half where he ran for it on second down with no timeouts left and had to use his third down to clock the ball, that was a dumb mistake. You throw the ball away and then you get that third down, you get one extra play to potentially put it in the end zone. But that still doesn't take away from the fact that I liked that, the throws he did to Preston Williams. I liked how he took advantage of the opposing team and their penalties to bring us down the field. So you got to be able to point out things and faults, and you can still be a fan. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say about that. Scenario with Tunsil, because obviously Tunsil didn't play. Again, not injury-based. It was just, there's no need. Let's see what the offense could do without him. Losing a guy like Tunsil would be very tough. But at the same time, we have to adapt. This is the NFL. You have big body dudes running into big body dudes. The way a play ends is when one big body dude knocks down another big body dude. Injury's gonna happen. So like he's saying, you gotta build depth. So God forbid, and I'm not gonna say it, you gotta be able to adapt. When he talks about Preston Williams, this is something I agree 1,000% with what he's about to say. Played tough, played physical. He blocked in the running game. That's huge for wide receivers. If you block in the running game, that's just ginormous for me. I think he wanted to make his presence felt, obviously in the receiving standpoint, but really in all phases. This is where, like, we all as a fan base, because I got super hyped with Preston Williams. I saw what he did, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's great. One game does not make a superstar. I agree with that 100%. He also said the league is about consistency. He's got to continue to string together good practices and games. Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. And when I read that, I went like this. I went, oh, yeah, okay. You're right, because I got really far ahead of myself. I was like, Preston Williams, this dude's the beast. Oh my God, and I was loving every minute of it because he's showing what we kind of saw in OTAs. In training camp, he was a little up and down. He had a few good practices, and there was a few practices where he kind of disappeared. But we got to listen to Brian Flores. It was one great preseason game, but it was a preseason game against backups. If he does it all preseason, if he pulls out, look at Victor Cruz. No one knew about Victor Cruz, and then all of a sudden he, had that 99-yard touchdown pass against the Jets, and all of a sudden people were like, who the hell's Victor Cruz? And then Victor Cruz came up. Keep stringing them together. Keep showing everyone that he shouldn't have went undrafted, and keep kicking ass. Again, I'm not hating on Preston Williams, but Brian Flores has a point. Because we get ahead of ourselves, and all of a sudden he disappears, and then we kind of feel like idiots. So, love what he did. Just keep doing it. Please keep doing it. I would be super, super, super happy. He talked to Bruce Arians about next week. He says 95% of what they have planned is already in pencil, but he says he plans for adjustments. And then he finally talks about Dieter and Calhoun struggling with the speed of the game. And he said, you can't simulate that really in practice because there's no tackling and there's no real contact. But yeah, he said, they got to get used to it. So the only way you get used to it is keep playing preseason games. He's going to have them in there for a long time. I noticed that. Like, Needham was in there for a long time. Mills was in there for a long time. He just kept them in there. Look, you got to get used to this. You got to get used to the play of this. But that's what Brian Flores had to say. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think about what Brian Flores had to say. Let me know what you guys think of like my take on the whole Preston Williams, Josh Rosen thing, and how you should be able to love a player, still root for a player to do great, still, you know, he's my quarterback or he's my wide receiver and still love him, but still be able to critique him. Because I was critiquing Balaj a little bit, because there was a few times Balaj kind of, you know, had a little brain farts, and a lot of people were like, you know, it's the preseason. And even in the live stream, I said, guys, this is preseason game 1, because a lot of people in the stream were like, we suck, preseason game 1. I said that, and then people were telling me that in the comment section. I understand it's preseason game 1, but I still should be able to critique them, because that's exactly what everyone's, especially Brian Flores, is doing. Like, this is what you need to work on. So comment below, let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys think of what Brian Flores has to say. Let me know what you guys think of the game. Again, I'm going live Sunday. We're going to talk more about this, maybe even break down some film if I can get my software running where I can break down film. But let me open some of your guys' fan mail. I don't even know if this is considered fan mail, because I don't think I'm that big enough to be considered. I don't consider you guys my fans. That's weird to me. But this one's from Sean. I think this is a letter. If it's a long letter, I might not read it, but this is from Sean. He says, please answer in a video. So I'll answer this in a video. Rashad Jones is 31 years old. Do you think he retires at 33 as a Miami Dolphin? Your thoughts on him as a player? Love your stuff. Well, Sean, thank you very much. Rashad Jones probably won't retire a Dolphin. I don't see him being on the team next year because his cap is humongous. I think he'll be gone after this year. But I think he will eventually retire as a Dolphin. I think he play maybe a few more years, and then he'll come back, retire as a Dolphin, and then potentially go into the Hall of Fame as a Dolphin. Yes, I said that. Hall of Fame for Rashad Jones. Now, this is a package from Victor. A nice big old package from Victor. Victor has a nice big package. I don't know why I said these things. So let's open this man jam up from Victor. See what he sent me. They look like books, which I always can enjoy a good book. What's this? Oh, that's awesome. I don't know if you guys see this. It's Miami Dolphin jelly wristband, which is super, super duper cool. Oh, that's awesome. He gave me game day magazines. So this first game day magazine is from December 10th of 2001. And it's got one of my underrated players on there that everyone killed me for, Jay Fiedler. I might frame this and have it on the wall behind me. And then he gave me another one with another great guy. He recently passed away. This is from October 7th of 2001, Nick Bonacati. Thank you so much, dude. I love these. These are awesome. I might frame these. I really like these. I'm going to look at these because our team was good back then. So I might look at these and read these. Thank you so much. If you guys want to send me anything, my P.O. box is below. You don't have to, like Sean did. You could just send me like questions, or you could send me letters if you want me to read it on camera and stuff like that. Or if you want to send me stuff like this, packages, be sure below. But like I said, I'm going live Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to review a little bit more of the preseason game, talk more of the preseason game, break down some more of that first preseason game, get ready for the next week. But yeah, be sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm retweeting a ton of things, especially with what's going on with the joint practice. I'll be doing that. Also, be sure to check out the Bit Boys. I got a ton of stuff planned there for this week. We're going to have about 3 or 4 games out on the channel this week. So if you like that stuff, if you're into video games, if you're into our type of humor, because we have a certain sense of humor, go over, check it out. You like what you see, subscribe. If not, don't feel like you need to, give this video a thumbs up. We are 3 more weeks until the regular season. I am doing a fantasy, so give a thumbs up for that. More details will come out after second preseason game because I'm going to pick it during the 3rd preseason game. But give this video a thumbs up because we won preseason week 1. We had some faults. I think the Dolphins are going to work on it. I think they're going to build on it. But yeah, it's going to be good. Also give this a thumbs up because Ryan Fitzpatrick is facing his old team that he's played for 2 years. So this practice is going to be a very easy one for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Be sure to check out DolphinsTalk.com. I talk about these guys all the time. It's a website I'm coincide with. They put my videos on their website. So if you're watching this how you're doing. Hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I got a ton of stuff planned for the season. I am working very hard to going to the December 1st game, Dolphins versus Eagles in Miami. Then I'm going to go to the Jets game, the Giants game, Jets game. So I'm going to go to Eagles, Jets, and Giants, 3 games in a row. If I don't go to the Eagles game because I can't get the funds to go down to Miami for the Eagles game, I'm definitely going to these 2 games because they're in New Jersey and they're right up the road from me. So I will definitely be going to those 2 games. I'm straight Vanna Whiting and weathermanning it right now. But other than that, I will see you guys Sunday, which is tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's talk about the preseason game. Let's break down some things. Let's talk about who did good, who did bad, where we can build from this. But other than that, see you tomorrow. Like usual, stay classy. Fins up.